Great, thank you. All right, so have a look at this sequence or pattern of numbers on the board here. Let's all look this way, please. Do you remember what we did last lesson? What did we do with these lists? Yeah.
Didn't we add all item in the certain pattern?
So what's the action that we did with the pattern?
Oh, we discovered the pattern.
Okay, so we described the pattern. And Tyler? Tyler, you got your hand up as well? Yep, that's right. So that's good. So we described what was happening, Maddie. We described what was happening in the pattern, and we also continued. So we asked, what comes next? So, what's happening here? What's the pattern? Add 5 each time, yeah? Okay. So the next three numbers will be
32, 37,
Yep.
42, 47.
All right. That's basically all we did last lesson. Okay. Now, I'm going to teach you some new language for analyzing these sequences or these patterns. It's going to look like a mess at the beginning, but bear with me. Okay, so we've got the same pattern 2, 7, 12, 17, 22, 27. So, same sequence of numbers, same pattern, still going up by 5. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to give these numbers some names. So, the first number, I'm going to call it V0. And when you did year 10 and year 9 maths, you will have written numbers on the top for power or an index. Here, this is not the same as that. Okay, this is just telling you where you are in the list. So this is the first number in the list. We're going to call that V0. I strongly suggest you get this down because we're going to use this notation for the rest of the class. So for the next few weeks. Second number, I'm going to call that V1. Next number, V2. Next number, V3. Okay? That's right. Okay? All right. So we're going to call this sequence V. This is called a subscript when you write it down the bottom. Vn. N. N is the number that's normally used. And N can take on any number. So in this case, 0, 1, 2, etc. Okay? I'm about to start this topic with my year 12s next week. And they basically revised the whole topic that we're doing over the next few weeks in about 2 lessons, which is quite rough for them. So for that reason, try to take in as much as you can this year. All right. So I put the numbers V0, V1, V2, V3 to describe where I am in the sequence. So, can anyone tell me what V6 is going to be?
20, 32.
So it's the same sequence as before. We're adding 5 each time. So it's just 32. Okay? You're continuing the pattern. So this number down the bottom is going up by 1 each time. So when I'm at V5, I'm at 27. So as it goes to the next one, V6, which I don't have in my list. The question is what number it's going to be. It's going to be 32 because I'm just going to continue the pattern. Okay? V7, 37. Okay, so here's the big idea. Instead of just writing out the list of numbers, I'm going to tell you where I am in the sequence by giving you a number. 0 for the first one. Okay, this sometimes confuses students, so I'll write a note here. We start the list at V0 rather than V1. Normally we talk about the first number in a list, right? We don't refer to the number 0 in a list. The reason why we use V0 rather than V1 at the start is actually going to make our life easier. The formulas will be easier. So I'll show you why maybe next term. Okay, but just remember for now, you're starting the list at 0 rather than 1. All right, is anyone still writing? All right, how long do you need, Ben? Okay. All right, I'll let you keep writing. Thanks, Ben. All right.
What's this called?
Your heading for today?
Yeah.
The heading is, good question. So your heading now is recurrence relations. All right, so I'm going to write the sequence again. You don't need to write the blue writing. All right, this is the first moment in our topic where it's going to feel a little bit challenging. This is the first time. Okay, so this is the first hurdle to get over in understanding this topic. So right now we only have one way to describe the sequence of numbers. I have to write it out and look at the pattern. So right now it's pretty straightforward because despite all of the failures of our education system, I believe you can all add 5 to numbers. Okay? So, I believe in all of you. You can add 5.
I hate to bring it to you, but when I first looked this out, I was like, oh, it's only 5. I was, oh!
Okay?
It goes 2727.
So the trouble with this is if I change the numbers so that they involve decimals or fractions, or the numbers get really large or really small, I can't look at the list anymore and work out the pattern very easily. So what I'm going to give you now is some language to describe a pattern without having to write all the numbers in. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to write down 2 equations and separate them by a comma like this. The first equation is going to tell you the first number in the list.
Yeah.
So equation number 1 is going to tell you the first number in the list. Equation number 2 is going to tell you how to get the next number from the previous number. So let's start with the easy part. What's the first number in this list? 2. It's 2, okay? Alright, so that's half your work done. So if I give you a sequence like this, I want you to be able to write down what's called the recurrence relation, which describes how to make the pattern. Okay? So we need to know where to start. That's one important ingredient. The other ingredient we need is a way to generate the next term. So I don't expect you to come up with this on your own because you're seeing this for the first time. So let me show you. This means the next term, Vn plus 1, and this means the previous term, Vn. So this equation is saying, for any value of n that I choose, I can generate the next term by adding the number 5. Is that okay? So we're going to do lots of examples of this until it's burned into your brain. Okay? All right, so the recurrence relation is, and make sure you get this part down, V0 equals 2, comma, V n plus 1 equals Vn plus 5. All right? First term. And this one is saying how to generate next term from previous term. That is a comma in the middle. All right. I'll upload this to Teams if you've missed something. Okay. All right. I think I should let you write it down because this is it.
I'm actually writing this down.
Yeah. You want to write this down. As I said last week, I think this is the hardest topic of the year.
Is this a comma or a G?
It's a comma. Yeah.
Well, I'm giving it a comma. It's Kylie. Are you going to the dentist tomorrow night?
Me? No.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Actually, we asked you that.
Are you gonna run the video? It's free.
Huh?
Did he actually wait, I didn't see it.
There's a photographer.
Are they recording the event? Ooh. You can see Ben and Ben's dance.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, Facebook.
How do you get it?
Anyone still writing?
Yes.
All right. Keep going.
Are you going there?
I was watching the video the other day.
Oh, you're a lot. Juliet. I'm sure you did it.
All right, year 11s. Let's bring it back. So I'm going to write down some examples on the board now. And actually, I won't answer the questions for you. I want you to write down the recurrence relations. So if you can do this, you're good. All right? So this is your task. Write down a recurrence relation for each sequence. Same thing as what we did there. Okay? So you can ignore this part. I want you to turn the list of numbers into this thing here. Okay? So I think I'll do quite a few examples here. It's for your own good. Yep. Both. The black stuff. Just, you don't need the purple. One more. Sorry. Okay, year 11s. So I'm going to give you all, let's say, 3 minutes. I want you to change each of these sequences into a recurrence relation for me. Well, the 3 minutes hasn't started yet. 3 minutes. So, chat amongst yourselves. There's an example on the board here. Remember, you need 2 equations in a recurrence relation. One telling you the first number in the list. The second one telling you how to get the next term from the previous term. Okay, I'll do the first one. I'll write the answer for the first one, okay? So folks, I'll do the first one for you. V0 is the first number in the list. That's 3. Comma. The second equation tells you how to get the next number, Vn plus 1, from the previous number, Vn. What's happening in this sequence? Plus 7, so plus 7 there. Okay? Off you go. First question. Yeah, we'll talk about it. Look at whatever you think it is. To be specific, your math sucks. It's still going to be n plus 1. I haven't said what you have to do. It's going to be a discussion, so don't worry. Okay. So if we can do the first three, that's great. The ones after the blue one.
The 9, 11, 10, and 9, 11. Yeah, just making sure. Yeah.
Okay, year 11s, let's bring it back. All right. So this is an important skill for you to master. So Maddie, use a different one. Okay. Every recurrence relation, I know I've said this multiple times, but this is to reinforce it. Every recurrence relation has two equations. The first equation tells you the first number in the sequence. So I believe you should all feel very comfortable with this part. You just have to read off the first number in the sequence. So I won't belabor the point. First number is 9. First number is 10. First number is 5. First number is 100. Okay? Half your work is done already. This is the more difficult part now. It's how to describe the way that you get the next term, Vn plus 1, from the previous term, Vn. So think of Vn as some term in the sequence and Vn plus 1 as the next term. This equation tells you what you have to do to the previous term to get the next term. So, Jackson, have a look at this sequence here. What do we need to do to get the next term? Add by 2. Okay? So all you need to do in the recurrence relation is the following. Take the current term, Vn, and plus 2. Okay? Kalisha, we're looking at this one. What do I need to do to go from one term to the next in the sequence? Plus 9. So, if I have my current term Vn, I will plus 9 to get the next term. Maddie? What's happening in this sequence here? Okay, so what are you going to write at the end here? Great. Alright, and now the curveball, which I didn't teach you. What's different about this one, Bruce?
This one's going
It's going down by how much?
It's going down
By 3. So minus 3. Okay? So please notice it's still Vn plus 1 because Vn plus 1 represents the next term in the sequence. So to get the next term, I need to take the current term and take away 3. Okay? It is in the work program. Let me just check whether I've found enough for you to start 3B.
How do you start 3A?
Well, work on that first. You'll need to do 3A first.
Have you started 3A yet?
Okay, I think that's enough. That's enough for now. So year 11s, please make a start on exercise 3A if you haven't done that yet, or move on to 3B. We will also do 3C during period 6. So, make a start. Thank you.